Easy Street for 100.3 Jams, and you're watching Rap Around Dallas. This area's only video rap show. Believe that. We definitely be cold kicking it. And right now, I'm on the bus with Tim Dog in this crew. What's up, man?
What's up?
All right, then. And first of all, you probably heard of Tim Dog before because he's the brother behind that single, F. Compton. What motivated you to make that record?
Well, basically, I felt the business was getting contaminated with whack MCs. MCs focusing on gimmicks and sell records, you know. I'm against rappers like that do that because I feel basically it's an insult to the art for one, and it makes it that much harder for people who take it seriously like myself.
Okay, such as groups, can we get some names?
Such as groups like Kwame, Kid and Play, Young MC, Hammer, Vanilla Ice, NWA. Groups that focus on gimmicks and sell their records, and they don't live the way they say they live, or they don't show any lyrical kind of talent in their records. They just, you know, like NWA for instance. The reason why I did the record F. Compton was because it was like every group from Compton was saying it from Compton. It was like the whole industry was like on this Compton vibe. Everybody walking around with nigga for life t-shirts on, nigga for life hats on. You know what I'm saying? And where I'm from, you call me a nigga, you know, you can be down. So, you know, I'm not even trying to go out like that. So I feel, you know, that rather than let them go on thinking that they got it going on, show them what time it is.
Okay. On the single, man, I mean, you come hard with some hard lyrics, and you calling a lot of names and stuff like that. But my question is this: do you plan on going to LA soon and performing in Compton or what?
Well, as a matter of fact, I just came from LA. Spent 3 weeks out there. We toured from LA to Vegas, to San Francisco, to Santa Barbara, and as you can see, ain't a damn thing happened. But I mean, I want everybody to understand it's not just a Compton thing because, for one, I'm not a politician, so I wouldn't insult a city, you know. But what I'm trying to get people to understand is you don't have to exploit where you're from to sell a record. You know, like Rakim once said, it ain't where you're from, it's where you at. You know, so be realistic. I mean, all these groups that supposedly going platinum and going gold, all they're doing is talking about their city, you know, and how people kill each other and stuff like that. I mean, I'm not trying to say rappers should be giving, you know, all type of positive messages, you know, it should be example setters, but face the facts. You know what I'm saying? You're not doing nothing but praising the violence that goes on in your city. You know, and if you're gonna do something, you want to do something hard, talk about how hard you are. Talk about how somebody tried to mess with your mom, somebody you had to put them right. You know? Don't talk about how you just walked up to some girl and you called her a bitch. Or you seen a prostitute and you shot her. You know, that's not proving nothing but ignorance. You know, and I feel if you want to stay ignorant, you can't do it in the rap game.
Okay. So when you performed in LA, how were you received?
Well, honestly, I'm selling more in LA than I am in New York. You know, which is kind of encouraging to know that a lot of people feel the same way I do. You know, they're tired of all this gang war and all this gangster rap. You know, especially when it's not true. You know what I'm saying? And they just tired of it themselves. So it's like, I mean, there were some places I went where you had the people who was upset, but you know, it's like taking candy from a baby and smacking. All you're gonna hear is whining. You know, so it's like I don't expect everybody to be with the record. But I mean, the record has made its point.
Yeah, it definitely did. You have made your mark on the music industry because, as you can tell, I mean, from what I gathered, from what I've been hearing on the street, because that's where I get all my knowledge from, is from where, you know, I hang out, and everybody says, yes, Tim Dog is right. And I read the source, too, and you got a lot of good phrases about, you know, the F. Compton single. And this is the second single, Step To Me. What's up with this, man?
Well, Step To Me is kind of like part 2 to F. Compton. What it was is a lot of people was asking me questions like, well, what are you going to do when Easy finds out you dissed him? Or what are you going to do when it's time to go to Compton? You know, for one, I don't see what's in Compton be wanting to go there anyway. And for two, I felt like this. If you feel sensitive about it, don't cry. Just step to me. That's all there is to it. Because the underground market is big. Unlike the labels think, the underground market is very big. That's why MWA came out with no radio, little to no video. That's why F. Compton came out with no radio, little to no video. And it did what it did because it's kind of big, so don't sleep on the street. You know? So that's why groups like that jump off. But when they jump off and you get carried away with your music and you start talking about things that either don't happen, that you don't live, you start lying on wax, you start making yourself look more ignorant than you're already projected, then you're going to have problems. You're going to have people like me jumping at you, and you don't want that.
Word. Lying on Wax, and that's the name of your album, Penicillin on Wax. We're going to talk a little bit with Tim Dog in just a little bit, but for right now, let's go ahead and kick it to one of his videos right here on Rap Around Dallas. Welcome back to Rap Around Dallas. Your homie Easy Street is chilling with Tim Dog and Cypress Hill. We wrapping things up, and we know we have a lot of local rappers out there, and basically right now, I just want to go ahead and give these brothers a chance to express some of their views on how you can get into the business, and once you do get into business, what you should do. What's up, Tim?
Well, basically, to any rapper out there trying to make it in the business, stay true to yourself, and life will be grand. Stay true to your craft and love any fan. Be up on the business, because that's what it's all about. And whatever you do, don't sell out. And that's my words of wisdom to y'all out there. Peace.
Yeah, B. What's up, man?